Okay, guys, so we're back with the week ahead for June 10th through the 16th. This is Sidereal Astrology, which is astrology aligned accurately with the stars in the sky. So, like I say in all my videos, let me just shut my phone off. Hang on a second. Um, you know, Sidereal astrology aligns with the accurate constellations in the sky, whereas tropical astrology, the mainstream astrology that we all practice, it doesn't align with the constellations in the sky. And you got to research that for yourself. Look up sidereal astrology versus tropical astrology, and you will see for yourself that tropical astrology, the mainstream that we all practice, doesn't align with the stars. And almost everyone that I sit down and do readings for, they when I reveal this to them, they freak out. So, anyway, look it up. All right, so we're gonna move ahead with this the week ahead report, and there's a lot of action, and this is funny because it reminds me of this crazy meme that was going on Facebook where it was like looks like it was like an old cartoon from India or something where there's three kids, one kid's punching the kid in the face, and it says like the boxing glove is life, and then the kid again punch says me, and then there's one guy just sitting eating popcorn, just watching the whole thing, just like, and it says like I think it says like my higher self or something like that, just watching, observing, and this is what reminds me of this week, and why I say this is because there's a lot of action going on this week, and yeah, and this action um, is about dreams and solidifying and then applying the energy um, towards making these dreams a reality. So we're gonna dive in and just kind of see what we're gonna be dealing with because it could be a little frustrating if you don't know that you're gonna be challenged. So that's the whole key, is know that there's a challenge ahead. That way you face it rather than, you know, think that you're gonna have a week in the clouds. This is not what's happening. You have a week on Earth in the physical, applying, three-dimensional reality devices, which is you, and the tools and all these things, to creating your dream into reality. And that's not easy. So this is what it looks like. All right. So just hang a second. We're gonna go through it. Okay. All right. So here we have. I see again a lot of Neptunian stuff. Mars. It's like everything. It's like everything is going on. That's what I'm saying. This is like that whole thing where the higher self is just eating popcorn, watching watching the person getting beaten up by the ego. You know. Um, so yeah, this is gonna be interesting. This week. I'm going to be practicing that. Just like sitting back and watching, and then actually reviewing my own videos all the time because I think it was last week or the week before. It was a lot of review of the videos, even my own videos, because I was going through stuff, and then and my friends would go, "Didn't you watch your own video?" So so yeah, so that's what I'm going to be doing this week. 'Cause there's a lot going on. So let's just go over it and just like kind of just see what's ahead. So Neptune square Neptune square Jupiter, or Jupiter square Neptune, all week. It goes exact on the 16th. Yeah, this is kind of because that Jupiter is in the galactic center, so it's time now. Like the elixir that the king has been mixing is now time to meet up on some level with the dream. And again, it could not it could not go that well, but that's okay. I think the Jupiter possible can be an overextension of the dreams. There could be some type of overextension of the dreams or something like that. Because then right below it we have the same thing going on. Saturn sextiles Neptune. So that will bring it back down to reality, to crystallization. So Jupiter takes the dreams and just like really expands on it, and then Saturn comes and just puts it into reality. Just like, yeah, I guess that makes sense because there's a few people that I know, friends of mine, that they have these big dreams, and you just listen to it, and then you just, I mean, some I used to say, you're crazy. That's too much for who I know you are. That's too much for you to be thinking. Like, why don't you just think simply? and then that will cause an argument because the person is like, why are you restricting me, and all this stuff like that. So this is kind of the part where I'm just going to observe, because I'm going to show you. Because you have Jupiter square Neptune, so that's the person being like, I'm going to build this big thing and fly to this big thing and buy, this big thing and that thing and this thing, and it's all dreams, and that's great. But then, how much money do you have? Okay, so it can't happen. But I'm not gonna say that now because that will wind up getting like bananas and shit like that thrown at me. So just like sit and be like, yeah, like dream's awesome. But let Saturn do the job. Let Saturn come in. So Saturn will come in and be like, okay, like you're gonna make this dream reality. Okay, what do you got to work with? Here's what's solid. So this is the part where you just observe and you let Saturn do the work with the dream and bring that dream into reality. Because again, it's still hitting the nodes, but then all that stuff ends with the nodes. So this whole Neptune's north node, south node ends. So now you're kind of left on your own right now. And I think that's really what's going on. It's like you dreamed big, that's great. Saturn crystallizes it. That's like, it's where you live. You live on Earth. It's about Saturnian realm, time limits and structure. That's like what we deal with every day on Earth. You know, that's the reality. So you have to be friends with that reality, or you will have frustrations because you're going to be overextending. That's the Jupiter square Neptune. Could be overextending on great ideas. All right. So yeah. So now it looks like you're going to be left on your own. Like towards the end of the week, you're going to have this reality that you're left to your own devices to work with planets, and the nodes are kind of just letting you loose right now. All right. Because then look at this: Mars and nodes. Mars conjunct north node, opposing south node. So the direction, Mars and the direction in Gemini. North node Gemini, south node Sagittarius, with the whole, Saturn, Pluto, whatever, all that stuff we've been going over. So Mars is like, now Mars is doing what Neptune was doing the last few weeks. Mars is now. So, and then like last week, remember we said, I showed you here it is, the 13th, Mars opposing Saturn. So this right now, and then Mars trine Neptune, Mars opposed Saturn. So let's just go over all these four things with Mars, because this is the application, the force, the application to get it done. Now Mars and Saturn, that kicks in on the 13th, but before that, we have Mars in the north node, Mars in the south node, and the Mars in Neptune. So this is now Mars taking the role of a spiritual leader, because Mars and Neptune together create, pursuit of the spiritual dreams. So that's kind of coming up right now, like pursuit of your spiritual dreams. Yeah, that energy, the Neptunian energy of the new world, because it's in Uranus. So that's going up. So now the frustrating part could be where Mars and Saturn together, if you use it wisely, creates amazing accomplishments and success, because you're using the force of Mars with the timing and the stability of Saturn, if you do it correctly. If you don't do it correctly, then you're going to be dealing with the force of Mars being restrained by the wise elder teacher of structure of Saturn, which you cannot outrun Saturn. None of the inner planets can outrun Saturn. The only planets that can somewhat outrun Saturn are the outer planets, which is Uranus, which is Neptune, and Pluto. Those are the ones that that's past the seventh sphere. And it's interesting because I was just analyzing this morning, because back when we could only see Saturn, I think it was like without a telescope, and I forget the years, and don't quote me on any of this stuff, but in the ancient days we had the 7 planets. We could only see 7 planets. Our lifespan was 30 years, right? Now that we can see Uranus and beyond, now our lifespan is 84 years, which is the orbit of of Uranus around the sun, right? So you see what I'm saying? So now we've outrun the limits of Saturn. Uranus has created, the discovery of Uranus now gives us a higher vision towards longevity. So that's like kind of what we're dealing with when we're dealing with Saturn. So you have to work with it if you're working with the inner planets, which is Mars. So, like I said, I'm just gonna like kick back and watch because that's exactly what needs to happen. Then you have Venus sextile Chiron, so that's the feminine healing energy. That could be good. I mean, that could just be the feminine supporting the masculine, as the masculine is just like, I'm gonna do this, and then maybe the feminine. That might be interesting, because Venus is in Taurus. Yeah, okay. So maybe the feminine is like taking like a back position and supporting, just being like, all right, I've done. Because I think last week she ended the Venus trine Pluto, which was that Shakti energy, feminine, divine, feminine. So that's like now she's taking maybe Venus taking a back seat, supporting the masculine in these big jobs. So that's kind of what I see. Um, yeah, that. Then Mercury is doing the same thing. Here we go. Mercury, same situation. Mercury conjunct South Node, oppose. I mean conjunct North Node, oppose South. Trines Neptune, opposes Saturn. So same thing. So when is that? That's all like towards the end of the week. You see all that, all these dates. So 14th North Node, 15th South Node, Neptune on the 15th. Right? Is that right? And then Saturn also on the 15th a little later. So again, that's same type of energy. Now that's Mercury is the communicator. So there's there's a lot of energy going on right now. Work, application of power, and communication of the application of power. That's Mercury. All right. So yeah, I think we're done with this week. All right. I'm definitely gonna take a back seat, the observer's seat, and I'm just gonna watch what's going on. you know, that's it for me. I'm gonna watch. There's a lot of stuff, a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot. All right. Um, so don't if I don't know. I just don't feel like getting tossed around. So that's. I mean, maybe you want to get tossed around. I don't know. I'm chill right now. I don't feel like getting tossed around. So I'm just gonna observe and just like use my time wisely. Because I already identified what my dreams are, which I did that work in the past time with Neptune, and now I'm in it. So yeah. So all right. I think we're good here. So I'm gonna leave it here. Um, Sign up on the email list. Visit siderealastrologist.com, and a little window comes up. Sign up on the email list. Um, if you're watching this on YouTube, click subscribe and the notification bell so you see when the new videos come out. And join the Facebook group, Sidereal Revolution, which a lot of times we discuss all this on the Facebook group. And I think that's it. So I'm curious to hear some feedback on this week because this is going to be a lot of movement. All right. Yeah. All right. I'll catch you guys on the next one.